time is ticking down, and every day we get closer to the first day of school. Now's the time to buy the supplies, the first day of school outfits, get ready for the new year of classes. Guilford County Schools is getting ready to welcome most of their students back August the 28th. So here to answer your questions that you may have is Dr. Whitney Oakley, Guilford County Schools Superintendent. So what we want you to do, we want you to text in any question that you have right now. You see the number at the bottom of your screen right there, 336-379-5775. You text in your question. It's anonymous. We're going to get your question answered here in the next half hour. All right, so some students already back to class, right? Yep. Others return the 28th. What are some of the goals for this year's upcoming school year?
Sure. I mean, we're certainly continuing to face some of the learning challenges that came after COVID. And so we want to make sure that we're accelerating learning for all students, that we have healthy and safe schools, and that we're preparing our students to thrive in the world, have access to the best college and careers. And so we want them to have a smooth transition, build relationships with trusted adults in the building, and get off to a strong start.
All right, and the key thing that I heard there that I'm sure a lot of parents heard at home was safety, right? Security measures coming this year for middle schoolers. Let's talk about how like the body scanners or the metal detectors or whatever we have in place or thinking we're going to have in place.
Sure, so we deployed 12 different safety strategies last year, expanded our safety office, clear bag policies at large athletic events, provide additional staffing for athletic events as well. We are moving and are in the implementation process of adding the scanners to our middle schools. And so middle schools will see that as we begin to start the school year, and we're in the process of implementing that now.
Okay, and so let's get a little bit more specific on that. I know you say you're in the process of implementing. Is it something that most parents are going to see like on Parents' Night when they go to the school?
Sure, yeah, as they're implemented at each school, principals will be able to do, this is what this will look like, this is what this will mean, this is how you walk through with your backpack. And just like any first day of school process, whether it's finding your schedule or locating your classroom or walking down the hall or finding the bathroom, it's just part of how you practice the opening of school, and that's what we'll experience at these schools too.
Okay, and that may be something that maybe a little bit more time gets built in?
So again, at the beginning of the school year, we always add more time for transitions into school, transitions if you switch classes, between classes, and you practice that. You practice going to lunch at the right time. We practice dismissal. So you build in a little bit of time, no matter elementary, middle, or high school. Whenever we have a transition period or something that's new to the structure, you build in time to practice, and before you know it, it's just part of what you do every day. All
right, let's talk about staffing. Staffing has been a challenge for like every school district all around the country. We know that you guys just had orientation for dozens of brand new teachers. So where does staffing stand now?
So it's certainly a moving target. Like right now, teachers are getting hired. So we continue to face similar challenges across the country and across our state with teacher vacancies. Every summer we hire about 500 teachers, and we're on track right now to do that very same thing.
Okay, and then let's talk buses, because there's a couple of different things I want to talk about buses. I've seen them doing the runs throughout like my neighborhood getting ready. How are we staffing wise with bus drivers?
Yeah, we're hovering around the 65 bus driver vacancy range. That's similar to this point last year, and we're hiring bus drivers every day, so that changes. They also have to go through a training and a certification process, so that's ongoing. It happens every month all year, not just in the summer. But parents who met the transportation deadline will be able to have access to transportation on the first day of school, and as we get those transportation requests, we add them to the route. So again, that's an ever evolving and ongoing process, but we do have kind of a one-stop shop that we want parents to visit. It's at www.gcsnc.com/backtoschool23. And so you can do the Here Comes the Bus app, get bus assignments, know how to check grades, courses, all of the things right there on that website.
All right, and we want to make it really clear. She did talk about how the deadline for the bus transportation has passed, because that actually happens like springtime-ish.
It happens after the end of the school year, but before we get into full summer. But again, we're taking them on a rolling basis. It just takes some time. Every time you get one, you add it to a route. And so we want to make sure parents use both our call center for transportation and contacting the school. They'll get more information at open house. So that's an ongoing process.
Right. And so while you may be saying, hey, they are going to ride the bus, it may not be something that they can be on the first day, but they are moving that into the schedule. Because when you do one kid on a bus route, it changes lots of other things.
It does. But again, the parents who did meet that deadline in June will have transportation on the first day of school, and we're adding kids to routes every single day.
Yep. Okay. All right. So the district is in the process of building many new schools. So with the bond money, how is that going?
We're so excited about the progress that we're making with the 6 school construction projects that are underway, others that are in the planning and design phase. But I think what's also important to know is that the facilities study that was done in 2019 identified $1 billion worth of deferred maintenance, things that should have been fixed and weren't. So we're now deploying $500 million of projects for deferred maintenance. That's things like HVAC and roofing and safety and security and middle school athletic touches and things that we'll be able to see at all of our schools. And so we're excited about this project. I think your viewers saw the Northeast High School $6 million HVAC project just last week. So, you know, we've got a lot of time to make up for, and so it's going to take some time to get there, but this $5 million worth of projects is underway, and we're so grateful to the voters, even the voters that don't have kids in public school, for helping us get that work moving.
And what I think is really key is, like what you said, it's not just brand new schools, that every single school is going to be touched in some way.
That's right.
All right, so getting summertime repairs done, that's what the maintenance is doing for the last bit. As we head into the new school year, we know that learning loss from the pandemic, you kind of touched on that at the beginning, still a problem. So how is the district working to combat that specifically?
We've seen lots of progress here, and it's exciting to talk about. We doubled the number of students who received tutoring, and we've tripled the number of sessions. And so we had more than 305,000 tutoring sessions last year. It's really important because no 2 kids have experienced loss the same way. And so what I might need and what you might need are totally different. And so we're addressing those gaps very specifically so that students can recover more quickly. We're seeing early gains and early wins. We also saw that our learning hubs in the evenings at high schools are also working. Students who attended those graduated at higher rates, had higher attendance rates in school. So these are very promising efforts. We are going to have to think about what happens when our federal funding falls off at the end of this year, but we're continuing to grow and expand. They're paying off in terms of student achievement, and we're excited about continuing those this school year.
Okay, we're going to keep this conversation going. Remember, you can ask your text question, and we're going to come back with some of those next.